What's up, y'all? Welcome to this week's edition of How To. Today I'm going to be showing y'all how to do a double arm lever, okay? Hand balancing maneuver here, all right? Now, some of you may not even be interested in hand balancing. That's perfectly fine, all right? I personally believe in having a pretty well-rounded fitness knowledge, being versatile, and how you move, when you move, why you move, etc. Okay, so I'm gonna lift weights, I'm gonna do cartwheels, I'm gonna do pull-ups, I'm gonna do hand balances. Okay, so I'm gonna show you a double arm lever here. I'm gonna show you how to get to your double arm lever. Okay, what is that? Let me show you. All right, ideally you're holding that for a little bit longer time. There's an isometric movement we're looking at there, okay? Now, you're thinking, how the hell am I ever gonna be able to do that? Maybe you're a yogi, maybe you don't give a damn about that at all, you're weightlifting, but kind of expanding on what you do and what you know how to do and how you move may be a little fun for you, so you wanna learn a little stuff like this, okay? So let's start from the basics, all right? First things first, we need to think about how our hands are working here, okay? Ideally, you can have your hand placement here, however you want to, but you're gonna be using your arms here. You're gonna be balancing on your hands here, okay? So for me, I like to get used to the feel of putting my entire body weight on my hands, okay? On my wrists, all right? Stacking my joints here, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna do, let me go ahead and actually get pretty good, pretty loose, pretty mobile here on my wrists, okay? So you can work this. A lot of people don't even have this wrist mobility, okay? If that's the case, that's fine, all right? Maybe you have just a little bit less of that position there, okay? Here we go. You can work here. Just working on some pulses forward. All right. You can work here, work around, side to side. Okay, there's plenty of other mobility movements, strengthening movements that you can do for your wrist to kind of wake up your wrist here, okay? In addition to your joints as well. I'm gonna run through that pretty quickly here because that is not the goal of today. The goal is how to today. If you want another video explaining mobility for the wrist, strengthening for the wrist, conditioning of the joints and the tissues here in your arms to make this movement possible, then I can definitely do that. You write a comment below and we can get that taken care of, okay? All right, so what we're gonna be working on now, we gotta practice, again, balancing, all right? I personally think that double arm lever is a pretty tough movement there. It's a progression of some of the more simple movements like the crow, things like that. So we want to try to practice those first, okay? Your crow is a basic yoga isometric hold here, okay? It takes a lot of core strength, all right? So what you're gonna do, a lot of shoulder strength too, especially in your anterior delts here, okay? So what we want to focus on here is getting into this movement. Ideally, I know it's a lot harder for men, getting your knees directly on your elbows or a little bit above onto your triceps, okay? So if that's the case, it is for me. I'm gonna go to a little bit outside of my arm here, okay? So your crow here, I'm gonna show you basic level crow 1 first, okay? So what you're gonna do, you wanna try to get as low as you can. You can bend your legs, don't worry about coming into a full forward fold. That's not what I'm looking for right now, all right? What I want you to do, you wanna think about getting a little bend. You wanna get your lean forward, try to get your knees. All right, try to get your knees as high up into your armpits as you can. Again, if they're a little bit to the outside, that's perfectly fine. For now, keep your feet on the floor. Just work on shifting your weight forward. Make sure you're pressing into the floor with your hands, okay? A lot of people come out of movements like these and they have tons of issue here with their wrists, and it's because they're not actually using their hands, right? They're letting their wrists flat onto the floor. All right, what we need to focus on is actually using the fingers here, creating a space here in our hand so we can actually press into the ground, gain some leverage here by pressing ourselves away from the floor here, okay? So let's do that again. Keeping the feet on the floor, get into your position, shift forward. I'm drawing up on the belly, slowly trying to work into this. Maybe I'll take one foot off the floor, come back down, take the other foot off the floor. Come back down, all right? And you kind of work there. Maybe that's your range. maybe you're not ready to get to that double arm lever yet. No problem, okay? Keep working on that crow. Keep working on that variation of the crow. Eventually, I want you to get to where you're able to spend a little bit more time off the floor with one foot, okay? And then of course, you're gonna keep switching until you can't anymore. So what that'll look like, you'll be here, hold it. Maybe this is your end range, hold it with your right, you can't hold it anymore. You bring it down, bring the left leg up. Maybe you can't hold it more here. And eventually, there's just small little taps until you fall out, okay? All right, trying to really test your endurance there with that movement, okay? All right, now, the end goal for your crow, you're gonna be here. You work on getting to this position. Try to pull those shoulders down away from the ears. Press them away from the floor. Lean into it. This is your movement. You wanna hold this movement. Draw the belly in, hold it, hold it. When you're ready, you set the legs down, you come on out of that, okay? Try to shoot for about 15 to 20 seconds before you start trying to advance into some other more challenging hand balancing movements, okay? When you get that crow together, let's go ahead and try to think about moving a little closer to the floor now, okay? So we're not gonna have as much help from our legs with this position. So what we're gonna need to do, we're gonna need to focus on how we can leverage ourselves so that we can get into the balancing that we need to, okay? So here's what we do. You work on your position here. Some people like to do this with their wrist here. Again, if you don't have the mobility or the strength here in this movement, I wouldn't recommend that, all right? Start off here, sideways here, okay? All right, let's go ahead and start on the shoulder position. And let's get used to that lean that you need for that lean, okay? All right, so you're here, press those shoulders away. You draw the belly in. You sit the elbows down to your sides. And you just practice resting here. And then back up, all right? Now, didn't look like it, but me just trying to stabilize there was pretty tough, okay? And that's just, that's the first part of it, right? How do you get stronger there without actually having to hold yourself there in an isometric position? Well, you can work on a push-up there. You can work on various types of push-ups that kind of, strengthen you in that position. So it can be something as simple as a dive arm push-up, right? When you're in this position where you're extended forward like so, and then come back up, right? And then here, extended forward, and then back through, all right? Some of y'all are like, well, that's a progression too. Absolutely, okay? You can also do your push-up just a little bit closer to with your hands a little bit closer to your waist. So you're looking at this movement here. So instead of doing your regular push-up like you would here at about 90 degrees, you're instead giving yourself a little bit external rotation in the hands. You're shifting your weight forward and doing your push-up a little closer to your waist there, okay? All right, and so what that does is it strengthens you in that position, right? It strengthens and conditions those connective tissues there in that position, okay? So, work on that, Maybe you only have one of those kind of push-ups in you, that's okay. Work on those push-ups. Program those push-ups if this is something you're trying to do on your on the offhand, like if this is something you're trying to do in your own time, work on your double arm lever. Maybe add 3 sets of 10 a day, regular maintenance strength for those with 3 sets of 10. Maybe you do 30 sets of 1 rep, whatever it may be, okay? That's a very basic movement for strengthening that lever position, okay? So, once you have that strengthening down, it's important to work on the isometrics too. You have to work on the isometrics. Your body's gonna be there for an extended amount of time. So, your body's not gonna know what that's like, because muscles aren't gonna realize what that's like until you are actually there. So, what you're gonna do, you're here in this position. Again, you're working on that pause. Push those shoulders away, draw the belly in, sit on the elbows, and just hold here. And what you do, you can work on lifting one leg off the floor, back down, lifting the other leg off the floor, back down. So the concept is the same with the crow, right? Some of you may find the crow a little harder because you're actively having to, hold yourself up in a different position. Like, that's perfectly fine if you do. The concept is the same. You're gonna be lifting up, trying to maintain that single leg position, okay? So that is how I would recommend you start. Keep the knees close to your center of gravity. All right, just work on the little pauses up. Take one leg up at a time, pause, come back down, other leg at a time, pause, come back down, okay? Once you've got that down and you're holding this position here, once you got that down, you're holding that position there. Now it's time to start working on extending the legs. And I don't mean straight out, because that's gonna be pretty tough. All right, straddling the legs, okay? Straddling the legs, separating, distributing your weight here, so it's a little easier for you to hold, a little easier for you to maintain and balance, okay? So, now that we're here, we work on this. You can even keep one knee down. You can even keep one knee down, okay? Or you keep both legs down. I'll show you what I mean. So, we've got option one here, where you work on coming through. Keep that left knee down, right leg out. Foot still down. When I'm ready, I can lift the foot up. Squeeze the right butt cheek. Back in, other side. Left foot out. Squeeze the right butt cheek. Left butt cheek, sorry. Back in, boom. And honestly, y'all, it might even give you a good idea of which glute is a little easier for you to activate. I got a little more activation on my right than my left. It's a struggle. So that's something I need to work on, especially when you're in that lever position, straddle, or your full lever. You need to activate your glutes, okay? All right? So maybe do a glute activator exercise, some hip abduction, clamshells, foot bridges, something like that before you do this. And that'll help you kind of, work on activating those muscles in the way that you need to, okay? So once you get that down, again, you start working on lifting that leg that you're straddling. Lift that leg off the floor, okay? All right, lift that leg off the floor. You're working on holding that in its isometric movement, okay? The leg is here, it's closest to your center of mass. I want you to think about trying to lift that leg up now. So now you have one leg bent, very close to your body, and the other leg is out and straddled, okay? So I'll show you here with this leg bent so you can see what I mean, and the left leg straight, all right? So you'll be here like so, get those hands in the right position, push them away, draw the elbow in, left leg out. Come back in, okay? So we're slowly working our way up, all right? Once you feel comfortable balancing here and straightening here, go ahead and move into your straddle double lever, okay? Try to hold these for anywhere between 10 to 20 seconds and get good at it. Be able to hold them for multiple sets for 10 to 20 seconds, okay? So here, boom. Come on out, okay? Very nice, all right? Once you got that down, you all, it just continues in that way, okay? You start to have one leg straddled, bring the other leg in, right? Or, both legs straddled, maybe work on movements instead of isometrically holding it, maybe work on movements where you bring one leg in, other leg out, one leg in, one leg out, There's plenty of ways that you can go about it. Let me show you a couple of ways. So, you're here. Woo! And you can see that's not easy. All right, that's not easy. I don't recommend trying to build up in one session because I'm already pretty tired, right? You want to think about separating these sessions as much as you can, okay? Work on these, listen to your body. If you can work on it once a day, then work on it once a day. If not, then you're looking at 2 to 3 times a week, 2 times a week. Work your way up until you're conditioned, until you're strong, until you can really work on that movement there, okay? The end result, you all, once you've gotten your straddle movement, all right, the end result is for you to straighten those legs out behind you, okay? There's gonna be a couple times where you fall. There's gonna be a couple times where maybe you go all the way out and you get a little nervous and you lose your glute activation and your hamstring activation and your legs kind of fly over top of you, or you're not pressing in the ground hard enough. So you end up falling forward. There's plenty of things that are gonna happen. Don't be afraid. I'm pretty close to the ground. Unless I'm doing this on concrete or on a balancing beam or a pole somewhere on top of the pole where if I fall, that's my life. Nothing's really gonna happen to you other than you maybe hit your face on the floor, okay? I'm sure that everybody watching this has dealt with more. I sure have, Okay, so you can handle it hitting your face on the floor, all right? So let's work into this final movement here. We've got our straddle. Let's go ahead and work into our full double lever. We're here, everything that we started on at first, right? We're gonna work on pushing the shoulders away, getting your pelvis in the right position, all right? Go ahead and get the glutes ready to be activated. Small shift forward, bring the elbows in, shift, 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 shift. And then you come out of that, okay? As you can see, I have to shift forward a little bit more. I have to distribute my weight a little bit more forward in that lever position when I'm trying to lengthen my legs out, okay? All right? Those are the mechanics, all right? That's how your body works in a lever position. You have to really find your sweet spot there, okay? Whether you're doing a front lever on the barbell, or excuse me, a front lever on the pull-up bar, a planche here on the floor, or a double arm lever, bent arm, double elbow lever here on the floor. You have to find that gravity, that center of mass, that balance here in the center of your body to make this work, okay? And again, you all be aware of everything going on. There's your double arm elbow lever. Give it a shot. Add this into not necessarily your workouts. You're not gonna do a deadlift and then go and do a double elbow arm lever. Those two things don't really go together. But what happens is on your recovery days, you work into more movement-based patterns, right? Movement efficiency, just moving, active mobility. So I'm gonna have days where I'm trying to work into my squat. Maybe I'll work into a frog, over to the side, maybe come through, work into a bridge, come down, over, maybe I wanna go into my lever. Come out, over to the other side, back into my lever. Good, come here, into the hamstrings maybe, right? Up, down, over, side, bring the legs here, work into the squat a bit, try to bring the heels down, a little tough for me, come up, into my crow, right? Back down, another frog, maybe a bear, work into my lever, back up. Plenty of ways you play around with this, you all, okay? It's all about having fun, just moving, enjoying yourself, exploring your body. All right, Mondays, I'm gonna do this workout. Tuesdays, I'm gonna do that workout. I've got my days planned. I've got my goals planned, right? This is for days where I'm using this for recovery, where I wanna have fun, where I wanna play, where I wanna explore my body, right? These are the movements that I do, not as intense, not as weight bearing, right? Just playing and exploring, okay? There's a double arm elbow lever, all right? Have fun with it, give it a shot. Have a good one, I'll see you next Thursday.